core business and role of all match officials is fairness and safety. The referee acts as the primary safety control officer to ensure that matches are played safely, fairly, and within the laws. The referee charter does, however, acknowledge the following. It is difficult to find the guiding principles behind a game which, to the casual observer, appears to be a mass of contradictions. It is perfectly acceptable, for example, to be seen to be exerting extreme physical pressure on an opponent in an attempt to gain possession of the ball, but not willfully or maliciously to inflict injury. These are the boundaries within which players and referees must operate. It is therefore paramount for the referee on the day to adequately determine this fine line between danger and safety. Rugby is, after all, a collision sport.
The referee's role in the modern game does not mean that he simply pitches up and blows the match. There are a few important things along the way that he needs to do. But before we get to that, first and foremost, it is the hosting union, club or school's responsibility to ensure that everything is in place on match day. The hosting body has a standard duty of care to ensure that all participating coaches and referees are actively box smart certified, that all required medical support staff and equipment are readily available and at field side on match day, that the playing enclosure meets the minimum field safety standards which the IRB and SORI expect to be in place, and that all key rugby safety regulations have been met. The referee's role here is simply to confirm that all the safety criteria have indeed been met by the hosting union, school or club before kickoff. If things are not in place and the match is called off for some reason, the fault lies either with the hosting body or the specific transgressing party. In these instances, this is not the referee's fault. They are simply doing what is required of them. Everyone needs to take some level of responsibility here. Back to the referee. The referee must be at the ground at least 1 hour prior to kickoff, as they will have numerous safety checks to complete, such as performing an inspection of the playing enclosure and players' clothing, performing a pre-match talk with the front rows, controlling for box smart certification, and confirming the presence of appropriate medical personnel and equipment.
For all school, club, community level and amateur rugby or green standard matches, and before any match may continue, the referee needs to check that the playing enclosure meets the requirements of a safe match environment as described in the Field Safety Standards document on the BoxSmart website. When doing this, check the playing surface, field markings, field dimensions, padding, general safety matters, including the advertising boards, dangerous edges, concrete barriers, and the like.
This is dangerous, and we need to get padding over it immediately.
Also check for any spectator control issues and fix these beforehand.
Looking at the law book, Law 1.6, Objections to the ground. A. If either team has objections about the ground or the way it is marked out, they must tell the referee before the match starts. B. The referee will attempt to resolve the issues, but must not start a match if any part of the ground is considered to be dangerous. The referee must then check all players' boots, studs, clothing for potential dangerous items and any protective padding worn.
Looking at the law book, Law 4.5, Inspection of Player Clothing. A. The referee or touch judges appointed by or under the authority of the match organizer must inspect the player clothing and studs for conformity to this law. B. The referee has the power to decide at any time before or during the match that a part of player clothing is dangerous or illegal. If the referee decides that clothing is dangerous or illegal, the referee must order the player to remove it. The player must not take part in the match until the items of clothing are removed. C. If at an inspection before the match, the referee or touch judges tells a player that an item banned under this law is being worn, and the player is subsequently found to be wearing that item on the playing area, the player is sent off for misconduct. It is highly recommended that the referee has a pre-match talk to captain and front rows to discuss the expectations around the scrums, and also to make sure that all front rows clearly understand these. Given the diverse cultures, languages and levels of experience and education across South Africa, it is important for continued safety at scrums that referees have this talk beforehand. It is also imperative that this is not a one-way communication, but rather a confirmation of the referee's expectation and players' understanding of the scrum process, so that everyone knows their respective roles on the day. When calling the scrums, it is also vital that the referee uses a language that all participating front rows can understand.
The referee has to confirm the active box smart certification status of each of the participating team's coaching staff. And should also have his box smart card available to produce this to the coaches during this time. The referee needs to receive and check team sheets beforehand. This needs to be done to control any potential underage or school age banding regulation breaches. These need to be provided to him well before kickoff. Where school age banding regulations apply for cleared or exempted individuals, the referee has to request and see copies of the completed signed off Schedule A and or Schedule B documents to confirm proof of clearance. Should the coach or team manager of the involved team not have these signed off schedules available, the referee may not allow the players in question to participate in the match.
If you're traveling to a tournament or a match, especially when traveling long distances, you also need to take some responsibility and ensure that you provide the hosting union, club or school with everything they need beforehand regarding your coaching staff and players, and have your team lists and clearance documentation available on the day where required.
The referee then needs to confirm that the minimum medical support staff and equipment requirements are in place at the field. At least one actively qualified first aider should be in attendance at the field per match. At least one complete set of spinal board, neck collar, spider harness and head blocks needs to be visible at the field side. For the gold standard matches, which are ABSA Currie Cup, all other interprovincial level matches, South Sea Community Cup, Varsity Cup and Shield, Sorry Youth Weeks, Schoolboy Festivals, Classic Clashes and all amateur sevens matches or tournaments at these levels. Or for Gold Plus standard matches, which are Vodacom Super Rugby, all international test matches and international sevens matches and tournaments. These minimum safety requirements, in addition to the green standard necessities, are even stricter.
For more advice on this matter, consult your safety in the playing environment and tournament medical and safety minimum standards documents for the additional safety measures and protocols that are compulsory for these levels of matches and tournaments. These are available on the BoxSmart website, that's boxsmart.com, and are also attached on the DVDs in PDF format.